Welcome, have a nice day. Today is Wednesday, 5th of February 2025. 5th February is known for Delhi legislative elections, which are a significant event in the politics of India's capital in 2025. The Delhi government declared February 5 as a public holiday to increase voter turnout. Now, starting the newspaper of the world news, including United States to take over Gaza Strip and own it. Key takeaways from Trump-Netanyahu's bilateral meeting. United States will take over the Gaza Strip, says Trump in bilateral meeting with the Israelis Netanyahu. Sweden shooting. What all do we know about the Sweden school shooting that killed 10 people? 10 killed in a shooting at adult education center in the Sweden, gunmen among children. Teachers cuts off religious threat from Hindu students' wrist. Faces a backlash in the South Africa. Who is Akash Boba, the Indian origin engineer in Elon Musk's dog? Now, starting with the Hindu newspaper, Trump stops United States involvement with the United Nations rights body, extends UNRWA funding halt. Palestinians gathered outside of a health clinic run by the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees, known as UNRWA. The U.S. President's order coincides with the visit by the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. The United States was UNRWA's top donor, providing $300 to $400 million a year. United States President Donald Trump on Tuesday, February 4, 2025, ordered to end United States engagement with the United Nations Human Rights Council and continued a halt of funding for the United Nations Palestinian Relief Agency UNRWA. The move coincides with a visit to Washington by the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who has long been critical of UNRWA, accusing it of an anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, and its staff of being involved in terrorist activities against Israel. During Mr. Trump's first term in the office, from 2017 to 2021, he also cut off funding of UNRWA, questioning its value, saying that Palestinians needed to agree to renew peace talks with Israel and calling for the unspecified reforms. First military flight lands in the Guantanamo Bay with the migrants deported from the United States. The U.S. flew Indian immigrants back to India on the February 3rd, and United States officials said on the condition of the anonymity. The first U.S. military flight deporting migrants from the United States to Guantanamo Bay landed in Cuba on Tuesday, February 4, 2025 evening, according to the United States official. It was the first step in an expected surge in the number of the migrants sent to the United States naval base, which for decades was primarily used to detain foreigners associated with the September 11, 2001 attacks. Going to the Hindustan Times newspaper states that Modi links caste dynasty in the attack on the opposition Rahul. PM Narendra Modi replies on the motion of thanks on the president's address in the Lok Sabha during the budget session of the parliament in the New Delhi. New Delhi Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday attacked Congress leader Rahul Gandhi over issues of the dynasty politics, welfare of marginalized castes, poverty alleviation, and foreign policy, as he characterized by the opposition as people with no ground connect, and underlined that his government respected the constitution and embedded democratic sovereignty. Speaking in the Lok Sabha, Modi outlined his vision of fixed power development in India, contrasted the record of welfare delivery of his government with that of previous administrations, and listed the ways in which the National Democratic Alliance (NDA) was building the foundation for the national progress. In the 21st century, he also said that his government worked for satisfaction, and not a Tutkishkaran, appeasement, and said that while he was currently serving his third term, he will continue to work for many more years. Indian penal law does not recognize necrophilia as an offense, Supreme Court affirms. Supreme Court observed that the ruling was legally sound and that the state could make a necessary representation to Parliament if it wanted subtle amendments. The Supreme Court on Monday held that the current penal law do not allow for the innovation of rape or unnatural offences against the deceased person, as affirmed by Karnataka High Court ruling that a necrophilia, sexual intercourse with the corpus, is not recognized as an offence. Trump signs order without withdrawing United States from United Nations bodies. Trump signs order withdrawing US from UN bodies. US President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed an executive order withdrawing Washington from a number of United Nations bodies, including its Human Rights Council, and is setting up a broader review of United States funding for the multilateral organization. The executive order said it withdrew Washington from UNHRC and made the United Nations Relief Agency for Palestinians, and will review involvement in the United Nations educational, scientific, and cultural organizations. The moves were made in the protest against that what White House Top Secretary Will Sakharov described as anti-American bias at the United Nations agencies. JPC chairman defends deletion of parts of opposition dissent on Waqf bill report. Jagdambika Paul, BJP lawmaker and the chairman of the Joint Parliamentary Committee JPC discussing the Waqf bill, Jagdambika Paul responded to claim by opposition leaders that only edited version of their dissent notes were carried, and said that the substantive parts of their objections were carried, personal abuses were not, and that after the adoption of the report there is no scope for change. Going towards the economy of the country from the business point of view, maintaining fiscal policy balance need to push growth in the non-inflationary way. Thusing Kanta Pandey, when the money comes back to the government, it can gravitate towards only a few sectors or industries. When it goes to the people, it will be deployed in the diverse areas. We're not being a perspective, we expect it to be a combination of the consumption and investment multiplier. It will be, in my opinion, more broad-based autonomously. Sometimes things work much better than when you are trying to control them. So my take would be that tax relief may be beneficial overall. Security and Exchange Board of India, SEBI, tightens algo trading norms for the safer participation of retail investors. Algo trading refers to the orders generating using automated execution logic. Such trading provides significant advantages of timed and programmed order execution. Security and Exchange Board of India set the timeline for the implementation of the framework as April 1st, 2025, and these provisions would be applicable from August 1st, 2025. Trade diversion due to the United States-China tariff war could boost Indian exports, official. The indication from the exporters suggests that traders in India are receiving high orders aimed at fears that tariffs will rise in China, and officials say. The United States tariff war with China escalated with being announcing 15% levies on coal and liquefied natural gas imported from United States. Now going to the science and tech, we have MPCM to release 5 cheetahs into the wild, 2 more cubs born and at Kono National Park. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav tweeted this picture on the birth of 2 cheetahs at Kono Wildlife Sanctuary on February 4, 2025. With the Wednesday's release, a total 7 cheetahs will roam freely into the Kono National Park. Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Mohan Yadav is set to release 5 cheetahs into the wild at Kono National Park in the Shopur district on Wednesday, February 5. That's today, 2025, a day after the cheetah Veera gave birth to 2 cubs, senior officials said. Speaking to the Hindu, the official who requested anonymity said the Chief Minister will release 5 cheetahs into the open forest tomorrow, Wednesday. Earlier on the December 4, 2024, 2 male cheetahs, Vayu and Agni, were released into the wild more than 2 years after the 8 cheetahs were bought to Kona National Park from the Namibia by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on September 17, 2022 as a part of the cheetah reintroduction project. Scans of seemingly empty spaces reveal black holes not far from the Earth. If a star orbits a black hole, it will appear from a distance to be orbiting empty space. Gaia projects the star's orbit on a plane in the sky while ground-based telescopes. Meanwhile, the track how light from stars is shifted to be the Doppler effect. Astronomers put these details together to infer the masses of the star and of the blank space. Astronomers have discovered a gigantic black hole named Gaia BH3 hiding close to the Earth, a third of its kind. All three were discovered by the European Space Agency's Gaia telescope, which has been constantly monitoring the motions of the billions of the stars in our galaxy since 2030. Black holes are fascinating to non-scientists and astronomers alike. They wrap space-time around them such that anything that gets close enough to the center, even light can't escape back to the universe. Yet black holes are still visible because of the unique effects they have on their surrounding. As the matter swirls around a black hole, it is compressed, heated up, and emits X-rays. Make a cancer a notifiable disease. Urge medical bodies and Indian Cancer Society on the World Cancer Day. The member of the Indian Council of the Medical Research ICMR, Indian Cancer Society, Apollo Cancer Center, and the Family Physician Association launched the nationwide campaign Unify the Notify on the World Cancer Day. The body started a campaign to help with the better detection, research, documentation, and management of the disease. The Indian Council of Medical Research (ICMR), the Indian Cancer Society, the Apollo Cancer Centers, and the Family Physician Association started a campaign on the World Cancer Day and urged the government of India to classify cancer as a notifiable disease for better efficiency in the cancer detection, management, and research. The doctors of this nationwide campaign, Unify to Notify, believe that the initiative can help real-time data collection and accurate reporting to the understanding the gravity of the disease and its impact. It can also help in the developing standardized treatment protocols through the epidemiological analysis and targeted intervention strategy planning. They urge that this could put India in the global map of global oncology research and care and help to combat the disease with the holistic approach. According to data shared by the National Center for the Biotechnology Information, the estimated number of incidence cases of cancer in India for the year 2022 was found to be 14,61,427, and it is estimated to increase to 2.8% in the 2025 as compared to 2020. Now, the United States exists from World Health Organization a chance to reshape global health. Global health should not be at the mercy of the funding or the expertise from one or a handful of high-income countries. It's a time for the countries in the global south to support the World Health Organization and initiate a collaborative action to reshape the global health agenda. On January 20, 2025, the United States government issued an executive order to withdraw from a membership of the World Health Organization, WHO. This has raised the apprehensions that reduced funding for World Health Organization would impact the functionality of the organization. However, as an executive decision by the United States government has already been made, it is a time to reflect on some fundamental questions such as why a single country's exit from World Health Organization is causing so much concern. How can the United States exit from the World Health Organization be converted into an opportunity to create a stronger WHO? Why is there a need for an increasingly great role of the countries in Asia and Africa in global health? So it will be later discussed. Now going towards the famous personality from India, late Manmohan Singh, whose birth anniversary is 26th of September 1932, up to 26 December 2024. Was an Indian politician, economist, and nationalist and a statesman who served as the Prime Minister of the India from 2004 to 2014. He was the fourth longest serving Prime Minister after the Jawaharlal Nehru, Indira Gandhi, and then Narendra Modi. A member of the Indian National Congress, Singh was the first Sikh Prime Minister of India. He was also the first Prime Minister since Nehru to be reappointed after completing a full five-year term. Born in Dhaka, in what is today in Pakistan, Singh's family migrated to India during its partition in 1947. After obtaining his doctorate in economics from the University of Oxford, Singh worked for the United Nations during the 1966-1969. He subsequently began his bureaucratic career. Then Lalit Narayan Mishra hired him as an advisor in the Ministry of the Commerce and Industry. During the 1970s and 1980s, Singh held several key posts in the government of India, such as Chief Economic Advisor from 1972 to 1976, Governor of the Reserve Bank of India 1982 to 1985, and Head of the Planning Commission 1985 to 1987. In 1991, as India faced a severe economic crisis, the newly elected Prime Minister P.V. Narasimha Rao inducted a political Singh into his cabinet as finance minister. For the next few years, despite strong opposition, he carried out several structural reforms that liberalized India's economy. Although these measures proved successful in averting the crisis and enhances Singh's reputation globally as a leading reform-minded economist, the incumbent Congress party fared poorly in the 1996 general election. Subsequently, Singh was leader of the opposition in the Rajya Sabha, the upper house of the Parliament of India, during the Atal Bihari Vajpayee government in 1998 to 2004. In 2004, when the Congress led to United Progressive Alliance came to power, its chairperson Sonia Gandhi unexpectedly relinquished the prime ministership to the Singh. His first ministry executed several key legislations and projects, including the National Rural Health Mission, Unique Identification Authority, Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme, and Right to Information Act. In 2008, opposition to a historic civil nuclear agreement with the United States nearly caused Singh's government to fall after the Left Front parties withdrew their support. 2009, BRICS was established with India as one of the founding members. India's economy grew rapidly during his term. In his term, the public sector expansion was very rapid compared to Vajpayee's era. Dr. Manmohan Singh understood the limitation of the market economy and was engaged with the Nehruvian socialism, Keynesianism, and institutional economics. Manmohan Singh says a very famous quotation. He says that in matters of state, one has to be full of sentiments, but one can never be sentimental. Okay, thank you.